The planet Ashara lay on the far rim of the Orion expanse, quiet, forgotten, beautiful, and fragile. Its red-orange skies glimmered like molten fire at dusk, and its plains shimmered under twin suns. Once, it was a world of peace, where nomadic tribes roamed free among colossal stone arches and glowing crystal fields. But peace was a luxury no longer allowed in a galaxy ruled by the Imperium Dominion, a brutal military empire spreading across star systems like a shadow that choked every spark of life. Yet among the ashes of fallen worlds, strange myths often endured. And on Ashara, one myth stood above all: the Lion of the Twin Suns, a creature of pure light, a guardian spirit, a being said to be older than the first dawn on Ashara. For centuries, it was just a legend, until the Empire touched Ashara, until people saw it with their own eyes, until war came. The story truly began in the desert city of Solari Reach. A young woman named Kyla Voss, once a soldier of the Imperium, now a fugitive rebel, had arrived seeking refuge. With her war-scarred armor, short-cropped hair, and stern gaze, she kept to the shadows. She had deserted the Dominion army after witnessing horrors that broke her spirit. She wanted to disappear, but fate had other plans. One night, she woke to distant thunder shaking her bones. Not a storm, but cannons. The Dominion had found Ashara, and they descended like vultures. In panic, the people fled into the desert. Kayla could have run with them. She could have vanished. Instead, she heard something, an ancient roar rolling across the horizon like the cry of a god. The ground trembled, the air thickened, and from the shimmering heat waves rose a massive silhouette, a lion. But unlike any creature born of flesh alone, he was enormous, taller than a war mech, with white gold fur that glowed like starfire. His eyes were molten amber, burning with the power of a dying sun. Dust swirled around him, drawn by a gravitational pull that made the air ripple. He stepped from the desert like a celestial king, awakened from slumber. Kyla, stunned, whispered, "It's the Lion of the Twin Suns. It's real." The Imperium soldiers weren't awed. They opened fire. Blasters screamed. Explosions lit the sand. The lion's mane ignited with radiant energy, flowing like solar plasma. He roared, a sound so powerful it shattered stone and sent shockwaves tearing through the battlefield. Soldiers flew, tanks crumpled, drones fell from the sky like dead insects. Kayla watched as the lion shielded refugees with his body, taking hits that would have obliterated starships. With each strike, his wounds stitched themselves with beams of light. He wasn't just a creature. He was something mythic, a weapon against tyranny itself. And he looked at Kyla. No words, no voice, but she felt something inside her mind. A whisper, ancient and heavy. "Rise, Ma." That night, Kayla found the wounded lion in the Valley of Embers. His energy flickered dim, his breathing slow. His power, though vast, was not infinite. She approached cautiously. The lion bowed his massive head, not in weakness, but in trust. Kayla placed a trembling hand on his mane. "What do you want from me?" she whispered. And for the first time, he spoke. Not with words, but with visions. She saw Ashara burning. She saw starships blotting out the sky. She saw a galaxy oppressed. And she saw herself, leading something greater than rebellion. A revolution. When the vision faded, Kyla gasped. "You want me to fight?" she said. The lion simply rose, towering over her like destiny itself. Kayla clenched her fists. "I abandoned the Imperium. I've been running for years. I'm not a leader." The lion's glowing eyes met hers. In that moment, she understood. This wasn't about leadership. This was about redemption. Kayla nodded. "All right, let's show the galaxy what Ashara can do." And so the legend began. The Imperium returned with a full battalion. Ashara's skies filled with gunships, carriers, and a dreadnought that cast a shadow over half the desert. Ashara would fall, unless Kayla acted. Using her knowledge of Dominion strategy, Kayla formed a small coalition of desert tribes, old smugglers, escaped slaves, and farmers who had never touched a gun before. They were undertrained, under-equipped, and uncertain, but they had something the Empire didn't. A celestial lion whose roar could split the heavens. Still, power alone wouldn't win the war. Kayla needed a plan. She rode on the lion's back, hands gripping the golden strands of his mane as they moved across Ashara to unite the tribes. The lion's paws struck the earth like thunderbolts, leaving trails of glowing sand. At each settlement, she spoke with fire. The Imperium feeds on fear. But fear dies today. Ashara fights back, with or without you. Many joined, some didn't. But soon she had hundreds, fighters who believed in the lion, who believed in her. The lion's presence changed people. Hope returned to Ashara. When the Imperium commander, General Corim Vale, learned the locals had rallied behind a mythical beast, he laughed in contempt. "Animals do not win wars," he sneered. "We break them." Vale deployed scorch mechs, flame artillery, and shock troopers, every weapon designed for annihilation. Kayla knew they couldn't fight head-on, so she turned Ashara's desert into a trap. She studied seismic plates, canyon layouts, and storm winds. She mapped how the lion's roar could trigger rockfalls. She used crystal fields to refract solar blasts. For the first time in her life, she wasn't following orders. She was creating war from the dust. The first battle came at the Scarlet Dune Pass. The Imperium marched through the narrow valley in perfect formation. Vale expected a simple extermination. He never expected the sky itself to scream. Kyla raised her arm. The lion leapt from the ridge. His roar detonated the air like a solar flare. The canyon's crystal walls vibrated violently, then shattered, unleashing a cascade of razor-sharp shards that tore through the Imperium ranks. Screams echoed. Chaos erupted. Kyla charged with her rebels, firing from atop the lion's back. He lunged through smoke and fire, crushing exo-troopers beneath his paws, biting through mech armor like it was paper. Wherever the lion went, the desert erupted with glowing shockwaves, energy pulsing from his mane in radiant bursts. The Imperium retreated in fear. Vale was humiliated. "What sort of beast is this?" he snarled at his officers. One soldier trembled. "Sir, it's not a beast. It's a god." Vale's eyes darkened with hatred. "Then we will kill their god." The next battle was worse. Vale unleashed his trump card, the Eclipse Engine, a weapon that absorbed light itself, plunging entire regions into shadow. The lion weakened instantly. Kyla felt him stumble beneath her. His golden aura flickered. "No, stay with me," she pleaded, placing her hand on his shoulder. The lion let out a low, pained rumble. They fought under the artificial darkness. Rebels dying by the dozens. Kayla screamed orders, defensively retreating toward the ancient Temple of Suns, a glowing structure buried halfway under the sands. There, the lion collapsed. Kyla knelt beside him, tears streaking her dust-covered face. "I can't do this without you." His warm breath brushed her face. He pressed his forehead gently against hers, sending a flood of images into her mind. Images of the past. He had been born in the heart of a dying star. He had guarded Ashara since the First Age. He had watched empires rise and crumble, and he had waited all this time for someone worthy, not to command him, but to carry the flame. Kayla whispered, You chose me." The lion's eyes glowed faintly, not in answer, but in affirmation. Kayla rose, fury burning like a second sun in her chest. "You want light?" she yelled at Vale's approaching troops. "I'll show you light." She turned to the rebels. "Protect the lion. I'm ending this now." With a stolen Imperium blade blazing in her hands, Kayla charged into darkness, and the tide began to turn. The final battle came at dawn. Kayla raced across the burning desert on the lion's back as the Imperium dreadnought cast a massive shadow over Ashara. Explosions lit the sky. Rebels screamed. The ground trembled under the weight of war. The lion roared, his voice splitting the clouds, but his energy flickered. The Eclipse engine had drained him. His once blazing mane dimmed like a dying star. Kayla jumped off, placing both hands on his muzzle. "Rest, I'll finish this." The lion nudged her gently before collapsing behind ancient stones. He trusted her. He believed in her. That was enough. Ma. Kayla stormed the Imperium dreadnought by herself. She carved through soldiers, sparks flying from her stolen blade. Smoke filled the corridors. Bodies dropped. Nothing could stop her now. She burst onto the command deck. General Vale waited. Towering, armored, merciless. "So," he sneered. "The deserter thinks she can kill an empire." Kayla lifted her sword. "I don't need to kill an empire, just you." They clashed. Metal rang. Sparks flew. Vale fought like a machine. Kayla fought like wildfire. Fast, furious, unstoppable. "You could have been a hero," Vale snarled. Kayla slammed her blade down, cutting into his armor. "I became one the day I left you." With a rage-fueled strike, Vale smashed her across the deck. Blood filled her mouth. Her legs trembled. He raised his blade for the killing blow. "Any last words?" Kayla's lips curled into a tired grin. "Listen." A roar shook the entire ship. The hull split. Light poured in like the birth of a sun. The lion, weak, wounded, but still fighting. Vale turned. "No. Impossible." Kayla surged forward with her final strength and drove her blade into his chest. The general fell. Kayla dove through a collapsing hallway, jumped from the exploding vessel, and landed safely in the lion's paw as he fell from the sky like a burning comet. He placed her gently on the sand. Behind them, the dreadnought crashed in a storm of fire. Ashara was free. For days, the planet rejoiced. But Kayla felt a growing dread. The lion's glow faded more each sunrise. One night, she found him on the cliffs of Emberfall, watching the twin suns rise. "Don't," Kayla whispered. "Don't leave." He lowered his massive head, pressing his warm muzzle to her forehead. A final vision filled her mind. Worlds uniting, stars rising in rebellion. Kayla leading the charge. His job was done. The lion stepped back. His body dissolved into golden particles, drifting into the wind like stardust. Kayla reached out, tears falling. "Goodbye, my friend." His voice echoed softly in her mind. The last roar of the twin suns. "Rise, Ma." From that day forward, Kayla Voss became the spark that ignited a galactic revolution. She carried the memory of the starlit lion everywhere she went. And across the galaxy, people whispered the legend. The Lion of Rebel Moon lives in every world that dares to fight back.